For my birthday fishing trip, I decided to head to Flaming Gorge this year because I wanted to do some open water boat fishing instead of the usual ice fishing I did this time of year. No sooner had I got my lines set than I discovered I was trolling into an area with a lot of floating surface ice that kept grabbing my lines. So I decided it was time to pull up my lines and come up with a new plan. My plan was to head down lake into the canyon and look for some kokanee. So I started heading that way. As I approached the canyon, I discovered the ice getting a little bit thicker, and upon closer inspection, I found there was a much thicker sheet of ice that was blocking the way forward to get to the lower part of the canyon. Time to get out of here. I had to come up with a new plan. I didn't have my Wyoming reciprocal license or my Wyoming quagga mussel boat sticker, so it looked like my options for fishing were between the mouth of the canyon where it was iced over and the Wyoming border. So as I thought over my options, I decided to try Linwood Bay. I had recently gotten into lure making and had made a dodger and a hand-dipped squid using plastisol and some small rods that I had gotten off of Amazon. So I decided to give that lure a try since I had made it myself and put it out next to something that I had bought from the store to see if there was a difference in results.
Alright, for comparison, we've got a Yakima fast limit dodger. So we'll put this out on the other side.
As I trolled up into Linwood Bay, I went quite some time with very little action. I was enjoying the scenery, but hoping for a little bit more excitement. As I trolled and trolled and trolled, hoping for a fish, I was starting to wonder if it was going to happen today. Finally, I got a big hit, followed by a heavy weight on the end of my line. I was starting to get excited until I felt it pull free. As I reeled it up, I discovered that there was nothing on the end of my line anymore. I continued to troll, trying different lures, different colors, and different depths, but it felt like I was trolling through a barren wasteland. There wasn't a fish within 500 miles of that place, it seemed. But I kept on in hopes of getting at least one fish on my birthday. Finally, I marked some lake trout on the sonar, hanging out just off the bottom, and decided to drop a vertical jig to them and see if I could get something to bite. I tried jigging for a while. When they wouldn't bite with the jigging action, I decided to try dead sticking. That didn't seem to work much better. After a while, I decided it was time to go try a new spot. So I moved up the lake a little ways to see if I could find some more lake trout hiding at a spot that I had found them many times before. As I arrived at my spot, sure enough, I began to mark some more lake trout. As I set up on the highest concentration of them, I thought about my options for a minute and decided to try a smaller jig and a much more subtle presentation to see if that could coax them into biting. I varied my jigging technique and even used the bow mount trolling motor to slow roll my jigs along the bottom through the territory that I was marking the lake trout. But nothing I could do could get those fish to bite. I decided it was time to start trolling again. So I put my dodgers and squid back out and decided to see what would happen further up lake here. I trolled for hours and hours and tried just about every lure in my tackle box that I could think of to try, and it was just one of those days where I could not get a fish to bite to save myself. Eventually, I remembered an old lure combination that I remembered seeing my dad catch small lake trout on years ago. It was a chartreuse skateboard style dodger trailed by a perch needlefish. So I decided to put it out there and see if that could still scare up a fish or two. As I reached the top of Linwood Bay and began trolling back down the other side, lo and behold, my dad's old combination went off. Eventually I got the fish to the boat and even managed to land it. At 22 inches, it wasn't a trophy, but it was a great birthday fish, and I was grateful that I was able to catch one today. Eventually, it was finally time to head home, but I was able to go home with my 22-inch lake trout, and we cooked it up with steak seasoning and blackened it on a cast iron pan, and it was delicious.